So let's do Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate has a new video. Let's see what it's about. Is there any way Trump could earn my vote?
There's nothing funny about
he would have to
of
basically
capitalism.
change the entirety of who he is as a person and all of his policies to be, like, left in nature, to be leftist. And he'd also, like, that's tough too, because even if he did, I think he's a scumbag as a person, and that matters to me, so I don't know. Will I be streaming the election? No, I will not. Not dealing with that. Unless I'm really feeling okay with it, but I doubt I will. We'll see. But I don't think I will.
Decided that Goldeneye, the movie Goldeneye, is my life story.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The story of Goldeneye is my life story. Cool. Cool, Tate. Cool. Yeah, I am glad he's not being massaged in this one. Wagroads 13 with 100 bids. Don't discount the notion Joe will win, but Trump will steal it with legal shenanigans. Could happen.
There's nothing
We'll
funny
see.
about the tools of capitalism.
Did I see the Joe Rogan lineup? No? I don't know what you're talking about. I know he just had Alex Jones on again, which is stupid, but I don't know anything about it other than that.
I've decided it's basically completely accurate. Someone steals a helicopter and I stop him, and the bitch who tries to
Tate, how many helicopters have you stolen, or how many helicopters have been stolen from you and you had to go retrieve it? Please, tell me about the time that happened.
squeeze you to death with the thighs, and me and the other bitch who was hot, who was in no other movie afterwards, who was the Bond girl, and me with a gun running around, and the treachery of 006 and blowing up trains. That's basically exactly what I do. In the tape.
Tate, what are you talking about? You hang out with your friends at your McMansion in Eastern Europe all day and fake buying cars on the internet for videos. What are you talking about?
Confidential, a train stopped, and I nearly had to get my laser watch and cut through it. Exactly like Goldeneye, but I didn't. Instead.
You're recounting a time that a train had to stop because a tree branch was on the tracks, as if it is the same as a James Bond movie. There's delusion, and then there's this.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Winch
capitalism.
Chanter with 20 bits. Why did Dave Rubin pick Soundwave, the lamest Decepticon? That's a good question.
With my ninja kick. Long story. So basically, I've decided that Goldeneye is my life story. And then I'm looking at most people's life story, most people who live, you know, like you dorks, who live your normal lives. And I've decided that your life stories are Forrest Gump.
Nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Forrest Gump has... Did Tate miss the entirety of Forrest Gump? Forrest Gump has, like, an incredibly interesting life. He's involved in every important historical event from, like, the 60s to the 90s, or the 80s. Like, what? He became incredibly wealthy by the end of that movie by becoming an initial investor in, like, Apple computers or something. The Undercover Beast, no massage? Great. Now we know Tate's a misogynist. Jesus Christ.
Now, I know you're thinking, oh, Forrest Gump, that's not too bad a choice, actually, because I get to become a shrimp billionaire and do all these interesting things.
Eoin 80, he was too busy banging a chick laser cutting trains to watch Forrest Gump. Of course, how silly of me. Stephen J. Neptune, man, this guy can't be real. He's real, I tell you, he's real.
But no.
Are you stupid or something?
Forrest Gump is actually the story of a man who is very interesting. If you watch Forrest Gump, I remember this specifically because the beginning scene is a feather. And it's a feather flying through the wind in the air. And what they're trying to show with that feather is that Forrest is the feather, and that life has blown him in all these strange directions, and he has no...
I'm surprised Tate accurately assessed the meaning of the feather in Forrest Gump. It's the easiest symbolism to get, but I'm honestly surprised Tate got it. He barely understood a Spider-Man movie when he talked about Spider-Man that one time. So I'm moderately impressed by Tate's ability to see a thing and understand what it means.
Real control over the directions. He kind of just, he's lucky and unlucky. He's fortunate and misfortunate. And he just kind of, his life is just
He looked it up on Wikipedia. Perhaps.
the result of being blown in all these random directions.
That's because Tate's life is Forrest Gump. I don't think Tate's smart enough to be Forrest Gump. Abby, my dudes with 20 bits, I want to watch more Tate movie reviews now. He can be the next Doug. Like, and Forrest Gump, by the way, is a really nice guy, and Tate is the opposite of that.
Capitalism.
Thank you. Oh, no. Maybe I was wrong. Did I miss something? Hold on. No, I didn't. Okay.
And he doesn't actually have any influence over his life. If you look at Goldeneye, Bond makes things happen. That's
No. Okay, no. Forrest does have agency in his life, and it is often that agency that helps him. Even though there are a series of circumstances that help him, he also is like a good soldier, even though he's not the brightest guy. He follows orders, and he was able to save people. That's an action he took, and that was agency within his own life. He wanted to go become a shrimp boat captain because it was the dream of him and his friend from the army. So he goes and he does that. Like, he was a college football star because he could do it, right? Like he becomes a ping pong champion. He decides to run across the country. Like, there are obviously bits of fate that come into the story of Forrest Gump, but, like, he's not an inactive character. He has agency in his story.
That's who I am. I make shit happen. You guys are just feathers in the wind. Do.
And yeah, that's a good point. Bond is a spy. He does what he's told to do, whereas Forrest Gump is just a dude living his life, doing what he wants. Yeah, Tate didn't pick very good movies here to compare things to.
You might land here and it's good. You might land here and it's bad. Who knows? Because you have no genuine grit and no ability to fight through the outside life forces. But the reason Forrest Gump is your life story is because Forrest Gump is the story of a man who falls in love with some bitch, who runs off to be a hoe, and then, once he's a shrimp billionaire, she comes back as a single mom with AIDS.
I think the director actually said it wasn't AIDS, that she had something else, like some other communicable STD, but it wasn't AIDS, even though the movie, I feel like, makes it seem like it's AIDS, but could be wrong.
And he
Some kind of hepatitis, was it? I don't know.
fucks her and gets AIDS. That's the end. This is the unspoken ending of Forrest Gump. That bitch dies. And it's him and his son at the end at the bus. Oh, well, I'm going to put you on the bus, son. It's supposed to be a happy ending. Anyone with a brain is actually sitting there thinking, no, now Forrest is going to die.
No, he doesn't. There's a sequel book. He's fine. He joins NASA and ends up on a desert island with a monkey. Don't read the sequel book. EON80, this dude is living a midlife crisis, not having one. He just is one. Yikes from me. You guys don't know about the Forrest Gump book? Okay, so the first Forrest Gump is a book, and then the book has a sequel. Forrest Gump sequel book. Let's go over the events in the Forrest Gump sequel book. It's called Gump and Company. Let's just go over the plot, synopsis. Yeah, I don't have better things to do today. Let's read the synopsis for the Forrest Gump sequel book. In 1980, the shrimp market has exploded, and Forrest can't keep up with demand. Adding to Forrest's troubles, Lieutenant Dan sells off his share of the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company in order to fund a swanky retirement, and the company endures labor disagreements. Forrest comes to the docks one morning to find unoccupied travelers, and is met by only Bubba's father, who sadly reports to Forrest, "I'm afraid to say you have been ruined." To make ends meet, Forrest takes a job as a janitor in a strip club in New Orleans. By chance, one of the club's best customers is a rough football player for the New Orleans Saints known as Snake, quarterback Ken Stabler, who used to play football for the University of Alabama alongside Forrest. Snake fears for his career as the Saints are having a horrible season and recruits Forrest for the Saints. Forrest is unsure of playing in the NFL, citing how the players are much bigger than in college and how, with all that gear, you look like a man from Mars or something. Forrest is astute about health issues, noting that, as he has aged, some of his famous running ability has snapped, but agrees to run on the basis of providing for himself and his ailing wife, Jenny. Forrest does have a somewhat successful career in pro football, but is soon subject to the tactics of sports agents. In the middle of a game, Forrest is told that Jenny has died. He tells the Saints that he cannot be at the next game, so he can deliver the eulogy at her funeral. The Saints management believe this to be a holdout tactic, and he is cut from the team. Forrest Gump, in his, 40s, in his 30s at minimum, becomes an NFL player. Again unemployed, Forrest sells encyclopedias door to door, working for a questionable man known as Slim. Little Forrest points out the encyclopedias are inaccurate, but when Forrest points this out to Slim, he's told just to make sales, not check for verification. On his sales route, Forrest comes across a manor owned by Hopewells, where Mrs. Hopewell hopes to begin an extramarital affair with Forrest, while her husband is occupied by research and development work. When told to help himself to anything in the kitchen, Forrest sees a can of Coca-Cola, but they don't taste like what he's used to, causing Forrest to experiment with different foods to better the recipe. This gets noticed by Mr. Hopewell, but Forrest cannot remember the ingredients added, and Forrest is given a new job in Coke's research and development department. This proves tiring as Forrest is hounded to recreate the formula. The joke is that Forrest Gump made new Coke. Do you guys remember new Coke? Jenny's ghost appears. This is like Hamlet, folks. Jenny's ghost appears, telling Forrest his job is not for him, as he is simply being used for his bosses to climb the promotional ladder, and his original concoction was a fluke. Forrest decides to feign rediscovering the formula to their satisfaction, and the premiere of New Coke is a gala event in Atlanta, Georgia. People admire the formula until one little boy says it's awful, inciting an angry, displeased crowd. Forrest escapes the fracas by jumping aboard a train in the switchyard, which he rides out of the country. I wish they'd made this into a movie just because it's really bad, and I really like bad movies. Forrest and his son get jobs at a pig farm owned by Mr. McVicker. Little Forrest notes how pig feed can get expensive and recommends using something that no one else wants: garbage. Forrest takes note of how much garbage a nearby army base produces and offers to remove it. To his surprise, the base's commanding sergeant major is a black man who served with Forrest and Bubba in Vietnam, known as Sergeant Krantz. The pig feed idea soon becomes the means of solving the energy crisis by using pig dung as power, with Little Forrest helping a team of engineers to build the world's first pig power plant. Oh god. However, on the day of the ribbon cutting, the power plant suffers a meltdown of sorts when an explosion leaves the audience covered in dung. Forrest escapes by himself, hopping another train to Washington, D.C. He's visited again by Jenny's ghost, where he admits the meltdown was due to his failure to pay attention to detail and check the regulator valves. Jenny says that Forrest will have to swallow his pride and admit to Little Forrest that he messed up, but Forrest protests. It may make him a bad parent to do so. This is beautifully terrible. Yes, it is. We're gonna get through this whole synopsis. I'm sorry, everyone. Once at Union Station in Washington, Forrest sees a homeless, handicapped man who says he is Lieutenant Dan, who's fallen in with those who took advantage of him and absconded with his retirement money. Oh no, not Lieutenant Dan, leaving him bankrupt. On top of that, Dan has become half blind. Forrest, not wishing to see Dan homeless, says he will work something out. Forrest soon meets with Marie Colonel? who recruits Forrest into a clandestine mission to Iran. They meet the president, who Forrest thinks may have been a cowboy or an actor. President Reagan congratulates Forrest on winning the Medal of Honor, and when Forrest simply states, "I just ran," the president remarks, "The report said it was while you were rescuing 6 or 7 of your fallen men." On the mission itself, they meet Ayatollah Khomeini. The mission is discovered, and everyone disavows responsibility, save Forrest, who is jailed. We're reading the synopsis to Forrest Gump 2. Sometime later, Forrest and the other prisoners are eligible for a work release program, to which they are put to work under a religious rehabilitation at Holy Land, a religious-based theme park where all the attractions are based on Bible stories. Due to his size, Forrest is cast as Goliath in a daily reenactment of the famous fight, but he finds the work harmful as he is constantly hit with rocks from the guy who plays David. Why do they actually throw rocks at him? And who keeps oh no! Okay. He finds work harmful as he is constantly hit with rocks from the guy who plays David, and who keeps muttering about Jodie Foster. Finally deciding he has had enough, Forrest one day takes matters into his own hand, throwing his rival across the arena. In doing so, he accidentally causes the park's circuitry to go haywire, resulting in mayhem, and the Reverend to be exposed as having an affair with his secretary. Okay. So the guy he's talking about muttering is the guy who tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan. Because Forrest Gump has to know everyone who's important in history. It's the Ark Encounter, pretty much. I'm addicted to 20 bits. What is Forrest Gump 2? What is 1? Just tuned in and I smell burnt popcorn. Is this dementia or is this a stroke? Wing the Ultimate Nug with 20 bits. Did this predict Arkland? Bible theme parks have existed for a while. It's about Jim Baker. I don't know who Jim Baker is. Forrest is spirited away by a man whom Forrest thinks is Mr. Bazowski and put in a nice section of New York City. Forrest's new boss says he has been studying him for some time and wants him to push papers on Wall Street. Forrest is suspicious of making $250,000 a year just to sign papers, but figures he can take care of little Forrest. While at one restaurant frequented by celebrities, Forrest and his son are talked up by one young celebrity filming Big, who makes remarks such as, "Life is a box of chocolates," or "Stupid is as stupid does," which both Forrest Sr. and Jr. consider strange. Forrest Gump in Forrest Gump 2 meets Tom Hanks, which is confusing. Food Bucket Man? Okay, I'm not familiar with who that is. Forrest is also given an attractive brunette secretary. Forrest fails to see the intended reason for the secretary, at first treating her as an employee, but eventually gives in her advances when she plays herself as lonely. One night after lovemaking with his secretary, Forrest is visited by Jenny's ghost, who is not upset that he slept with another woman, considering she is dead. But in that, he has not taken the time nor effort to read what he is signing and that trouble is ahead. Oh, Jim Baker is a Christian televangelist apocalypse prepper. Okay, gotcha. Forrest Gump 3. Forrest Gump attends summer camp with the 9/11 hijackers. Jesus. Soon afterwards, Forrest's boss, along with his compatriot Mr. Milkhead, are arrested and put on trial. It has been revealed to Forrest that he was going to be the fall guy as he signed the paperwork for all the shady deals. The three are persecuted by an overzealous lawyer. Is that supposed to be prosecuted? Whom Forrest thinks acts like he's the mayor. The trial soon disrupted with news of a crash and pandemonium ensues. Forrest is knocked out in the mayhem, waking up in his penthouse to be met by 2 military police officers who tell him that due to an error in being medically released while in Vietnam, his enlistment has yet to expire, and he's back on active duty. He's taken from New York to a remote post in Alaska while his son stays behind. We're almost done, guys, I promise. Antipodian Squid, I mean, that's awfully big of Jenny, not being upset on account of being dead. Most ghosts would be pissed. True. Forrest Gump 5. Forrest creates Godzilla versus Desostroya! Forrest considers Alaska a nice change of pace from the superficiality of Manhattan, but is worried about being separated from his son and pays exorbitant shipping fees to send the little Forrest to an Inuit totem. By chance, Forrest also runs into Mr. McVicker, who lost his pig farm due to Forrest's dung power accident and has moved to Alaska. McVicker is surprisingly forgiving, saying he wanted to be near the sea, but is also a heavy drinker, and after a riotous party with Forrest, the two commandeer an oil supertanker. Forrest accidentally crashes the tanker when trying to subdue McVicker. In the environmental hoopla that ensues, the army spirits Forrest out of the States and decides to quiet his involvement as court-martialing a Medal of Honor recipient would look bad. Forrest is then assigned to the reputed worst job in the army, cleaning mud off the tank treads in West Germany. Thank you, The Undercover Beast, with 100 bits. I know we're almost done. Just want to give everyone another moment to catch their breath. Thank you. And then Memo Addicted with 20 bits. Forrest, 2016. Forrest runs for president in a wig and orange face. Oh, wait, that's real life. Well, in West Berlin, Forrest is reunited with Sergeant Krantz, who is now working alongside him. And he is now known as Private Krantz, as he suffered a separate misfortune. Krantz said that back in Alabama, they used Forrest's idea of selling organic trash to the local farmers and made a windfall budget, celebrating with a new club and hiring famous exotic dancers. The commandeering general stood atop a table and had his hair lopped off by a ceiling fan, getting him in an awkward explanation with his wife. Similar to Forrest, the army decided to toss away Krantz by reducing his rank and sending him to Germany. Forrest, however, is glad to be reunited with his Vietnam buddy, and both men laugh at the turn of events. Forrest also meets an attractive blonde woman named Gretchen, who works in a beer hall. Originally from East Germany, Gretchen was spirited to the West, but her family still remains in the Soviet zone. Forrest and Gretchen start dating, but Forrest suggests buying little Forrest an Oompa horn. Gretchen thinks he cannot afford such a gift on a private salary, and suggests better rapport could be built through writing letters explaining his situation in Germany. Despite Gretchen's concerns, Forrest shells out $800 for the horn, but considers it a better deal as he did not get ripped off for shipping as he did in Alaska. What? Yeah, we'll talk about the thing at the bottom in a minute. When Forrest's background in pro football is discovered, he gets recruited for the Sauerkrauts, the unit's football team, to play against an intelligence unit, the Wiesbaden Wizards. Forrest certainly does not consider it the extent of when he played in the
There's nothing funny about
New
the
Orleans
tools of
Saints, but
capitalism.
noted the Wiesbaden Wizards sure knew every play pattern. During the game, Forrest punts the ball, which flies over the Berlin Wall, causing another turn of events where people in both East and West Berlin start breaking the wall with sledgehammers. That's right, Forrest Gump brought down the Berlin Wall. Gretchen is overjoyed to be reunited with her loved ones, but Forrest is chewed out by the base commander. Forrest's protests it should be celebrated that the Cold War is ending peacefully, only to be told the Cold War provided the backdrop for choice postings and espionage events, which Forrest has ruined the rationale for. Forrest is deployed to the Persian Gulf War, where his tank crew captures Saddam Hussein, Norman Schwartz, and shocked at this. While privately praising such initiative, he remarks they got all of them in trouble with President Bush, as it was not in orders to get Saddam, and orders Hussein returned. They do so, taking Hussein to the outskirts of Baghdad. However, right afterwards, they're hit by friendly fire. Forrest and Krantz flee to safety, but not Lieutenant Dan, who says his time has come, like all his ancestors who died in the American War. Forrest starts harvesting oysters and builds it into a successful business with the help of Forrest Jr. and all his old contacts. Dan's death is ironic given his oft-mentioned enthusiasm for oysters. The office decor includes the Jonathan Swift quote, "He was a bold man that first ate an oyster." When thinking about investing the proceeds, he meets Bill and Hillary Clinton at Whitewater. The business has been threatened by locals angry that the competition was racially integrated, and Forrest defends Krantz against bullies. The final chapter deals with Forrest arguing with Forrest Jr., who was taken up to adolescent rebellion by clandestinely drinking beer, and Forrest Sr. laying down the law in an old-fashioned way. Forrest also marries Gretchen, and the story gets put into a film, causing Forrest to remark, "Well, you know that one." When David Letterman makes the mark about Forrest Sr. being the most lovable idiot in America, Forrest Jr. chides him for talking that way about his father, and the story ends with Letterman being hit with a spitball on stage. So that's Forrest Gump 2. Jesus Christ. Possible film projects. A sequel had been in the works due to the success of the first book and film, but was delayed after the 9/11 attacks and languished in development hell. The script for the sequel was submitted on September 10th, 2001, a day before the attacks! So, never forget, everyone. If it weren't for 9/11, we might have a Forrest Gump sequel that's quite bad. Jesus Christ. Can we just treat this like we treat J.K. Rowling now? Where was the monkey? Was that in the first book, maybe? Forrest Gump monkey. Okay. It was in the first book, was the monkey thing. Apologies. They took it out of the movie, obviously. 9 insane plot points from the Forrest Gump sequel. No, where's the monkey? Where's the monkey? Forrest Gump wiki. Sue refers to 2 orangutans associated with Forrest Gump's flight into space on the multi-orbital pre-planetary subgravitational interspheroid spaceflight training mission. Sue is the name of a female orangutan from the jungles of Sumatra or someplace who was planned to accompany Forrest Gump and Major Janet Fritsch on a trip to space. It was to be the 3rd time she was flown into space after the arrival of the second male Sue. The first Sue is never referenced again. After the flight is delayed an hour, though to be canceled, but then reinstated, some confusion ends when Sue is found not to be present on the ship, but in her place, blah, 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 blah. Let me see, where does it get to the part? The male Sue causes havoc on the spaceship, eventually causing it to crash into New Guinea. Sue and Forrest befriend each other as they work farming cotton for a tribe of cannibals. When NASA finally rescues them, Major Fritsch decides to run off into the jungle to be with her lover, Gruruk. And a tearful Sue yearning for more natural habitat follows as well. So that's in the first Forrest Gump book, that he goes into space with a monkey and then they crash and have to deal with cannibals. The movie changed a decent bit about the book, if you don't know. MMO Addicted with 20 bits. You know, thank your girlfriend for having to read this. If anyone ever finds Vbrank Seasley Jude with English subtitles, watch it. It's like a good Ocean's 11 filmed in Poland in 87. One of the best Polish movies. It's centered around art forgery. Okay. Boy. So yeah, the Forrest Gump books are weird. I'm surprised Robert Zemeckis turned the book into like a good movie. Back to Tate for his closing thoughts on Forrest Gump, I guess.
Now he has AIDS, and that's going to be an orphan kid. What a sad story. What a shit life. You finally become a shrimp billionaire because you could...
Tate, you fool! He can't die of AIDS. He has to invent new coke and make the Berlin Wall fall down. Tucker White 94. That all sounds like cocaine-fueled fan fiction. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Couldn't resist that used-up pussy from the drug addict. You're now got AIDS. You literally got AIDS. Not like it as in making it will give you AIDS. Like, actually, you got them. So Forrest Gump is the story of a man with no serious life control who fell in love with a hoe, and the hoe ruins his life. Literally ruins his life completely. So if my life is Goldeneye, your life is Forrest Gump.
Tate's an interesting guy. What is wrong with Andrew Tate, legitimately? Like, Tate, I haven't seen Star Wars. Guys, have you seen this tweet thread? It's pretty amazing. This is Tate's Twitter account, if you don't know. Forrest Gump Omegaverse fan fiction. Oh, Jesus Christ, no. Let's not bring the Omegaverse stuff up, shall we? Mitchell Drummer with 20 bits. You missed people saying this earlier. Hepatitis C. Luckily, Winston Groom shed light on this matter in 95 sequel Gump and Company. The author made it clear that Jenny dies of Hep C. She contracted the disease through her drug abuse, and the virus was indeed unknown until 1989. Gotcha. So Tate has this Twitter thread that's pretty infamous for how stupid it is. So let's take a look, since we're doing Tate anyway, and I spent so long on Forrest Gump. We'll do some more Tate to balance it out. Never seen Star Wars. None of them. Never will. Oh my god, you're missing out. Maybe you're missing out on being a multi-millionaire. Keep your movie. And then it's a picture of him next to his Bentley.
Nothing funny about the tools
And
of
his license
capitalism.
plate, his vanity license plate says T8 sexy. Tate sexy. The Twitter thread goes on. Not your car. It has my last name. Tate. T8 on the number plate. Too much Star Wars makes you dumb. Here he is speeding in his car very dangerously. What's wrong with him? Narcissistic personality disorder and enough money to influence others to enable him? Probably true. Guys, I have more cars than I stand next to, too. This is a completely wrong... No, he says, guys, I have more cars that I stand next to. But it's the wrong form of two? Incorrect, Tate. If you want to learn how to make money online in between watching Dork Wars, go to cobratate.com. Everyone who's ever watched Star Wars in human history is absolutely dirt poor. No exceptions. Only I can save you. I teach you how to make money online here. Tate. George Lucas has more money than you will ever have in your life. What are you talking about? Like, what? There are plenty of rich people who like Star Wars. Tate's not Goldeneye. He's Dr. No. I don't know enough about James Bond to get that. This is this Twitter thread has the same energy as this, and then there's a link. Hold on.
Single's life is great. Beer in the bathroom. And who?
I sleep in a big bed with my wife.
Oh, yeah.
And how many of them are completely paid off? How stresses he when the time to pay them comes off? I think Tate has enough money to pay his sycophants. Even watching Star Wars trailer may leave you homeless on the street with AIDS. Only I have the path to absolute financial freedom. Do not follow the Jedi. Follow Jesus. Learn how to get unlimited girls and make unlimited money here. cobratate.com. And then it's a picture of Tate, but he's superimposed onto Jesus. I skipped over the best part of that clip. I can't do television shows and stuff. I can't play movies and TV very much. Women hate you. They hate you because you've watched Star Wars. I can correct this. My PhD program teaches you how to get unlimited women. Read reviews for yourself. Has a girl ever tattooed her name on you? No. It's because you've watched Star Wars. Luckily, I teach you the secrets to the female mind. Not only how to get them, but how to make them do anything you say. Change your life today. And then there's a link to his thing. Do you have cool pictures with cigars? With piles of money? On tropical islands? No? You spend too much time watching Dork Wars. Luckily, you can join my war room and supercharge online money-making today. Read reviews yourself, and then it's him. Smoking cigars with his, I think that's his brother, because we've talked about his brother before. And then, that's him with money. This isn't pathetic to show off at all. You know what they say, if you can't make money on the stock market, teach people how to make money on the stock market. Same thing. What else? I confirm, am richer than anyone who's ever seen Star Wars ever. Even the inventor of Star Wars is a penny-pitching little bitch compared to the awesome, near incalculable power of my bank account. Luckily, I will teach you to do the same. Amazing. Amazing. Jousters and Hannah, I can only give you ad biddies the next couple of weeks. I was sick for a while and missed too many days of work to amount to a substantial paycheck. Hate being poor. I'm glad you're streaming, though. Well, thank you for, like, doing the ad bits anyway. I appreciate supporting the show. Tucker White 94. I'm sorry you were sick, by the way. Tucker White 94. Hate to say it, but not even Donald Trump is this insecure. Probably true. Logarth with 20 bits. Dr. No wanted to destroy the U.S. space program. It was a stretch. Sorry. Reagan did start an Air Force project called Star Wars, though. True. He goes on, at Tate Speech YouTube channel, I often talk about how I've never seen Star Wars. Adoring females arrive at my house, naked, wet. And then he has a fake WhatsApp conversation. Where a woman says, I think you're the most disgusting man I've ever met. I'd never date a guy like you. You're arrogant, rude, and you write horrible things on the internet. I've seen your website, cobratate.com. You think you know how to get girls. You'll never get me. And then he responds, I've never seen Star Wars. And she responds, OMG, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Can I suck your dick? Which is definitely how this would play out, for sure. This is so pathetic. Every day, millions of dollars should be deposited into your bank account. They never make it because you've watched Star Wars! They turn around and decide to go into the bank of someone who's not a fucking dork. I can make you rich. CobraTate.com. MMO addicted with 20 bits. I'll disagree with you here, Hannah. Tate would not shill his shitty course so hard if he was in a really financially stable situation. He was used to his MMA stuff bringing him money and got reckless, hence moving to a very cheap country. He has to maintain an illusion of overwhelming success to keep scamming people for his stuff. I've analyzed many such schemes. I had a hand in getting one dismantled. That sounds right to me. He's definitely living above his means. I have no doubt Tate has more money than me. Like, no doubt whatsoever. But he doesn't have as much money, I think, as he lets on. And a lot of it gets put into dumb stuff like cars, so he can look rich, so he can use that as advertising for his website so he can get more money. He can't be serious with those tweets, right? I can't for the life of me believe anyone does this without trolling. I mean, what do you mean by serious? He's definitely being like... I think he knows people are reacting to this and find it funny, so he's, like, tweeting it, but he definitely believes the things he's saying. You couldn't write a character this bad. If we presented this to a creative fiction professor, they would tell me nobody is this insecure. I can't believe this is real. And then Logarth with 20 bits, the only wet, naked females showing up on Tate's doorstep are of the canine variety. Jesus. That's not true. I'm pretty sure he also hires escorts, so. On my Instagram, you'll see I never mention Star Wars. Ever! This is how I sleep with your mother's sister girlfriend. My penis is... My penis is heinous, large, veiny, yet females you love adore my penis because I've never seen Star Wars! I've never heard a penis described as heinous before. What the heck is wrong with him? This is me in Switzerland with a female. You've never heard of females before because you watch Star Wars. This car is an Aventador. On the floor is something called money. I can teach you about these things. And then it's a picture of a woman posed to look like she has fallen out of a car. And a bunch of money spilled everywhere. Weird that she just had a bunch of money in her purse, completely free, not in a wallet or anything, but alright. This video is me discussing an English lady running away from an old Nepalese lady trying to kill her. Notice the English lady's son runs away and doesn't protect her. Her son is a weak little F-slur. Her son watched Star Wars. Alone in my hotel with Aston Martin key and my hub lot and my solid gold iPhone, I thought to myself, I've never seen Star Wars. I blinked, and then a girl appeared. I could teach you to have money, and women exactly the same. Learn the secrets. Tate is every high school jock stereotype. Actually, scratch that. He's every film high school jock stereotype. Johnny Lawrence from Karate Kid, but in real life. Sorry for flexing on you broke boys. I know you're upset, but you're about to get real mad. I'm at a hotel, about to make your... I'm at a hotel, about to take your mama to the dark side. I'ma use the Force, nice and slow. That's right, I am your father. Tate, have you seen Star Wars or not? These are all Star Wars things. Philosophy Light chat, is it gay to watch Star Wars? I can conclude based on my study of one, I enjoy Star Wars, and I am also bi and trans, so yes, Star Wars makes you very gay. When you've never seen Star Wars, you can snap baseball bats with your shin. My penis is exceptionally large. It's difficult to describe. So huge, yet so beautiful.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh no. I hate to bring up Omegaverse again, but Tate is like the worst alpha trope personified. Oh god.
There's nothing funny about the tools
Stephen
of
J. Neptune
capitalism.
Man of 20 bits. Even Johnny gets humbled at the end of Karate Kid and hands Daniel the trophy himself. You're alright, LaRusso, you're alright. You should watch Cobra Kai on Netflix. It's pretty good. It's a sequel to Karate Kid, basically.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
All the
capitalism.
Karate Kid movies. MMO Addicted with 20 bits. My involvement was pretty minor, but we had a Poland's youngest millionaire who shilled fake meds and scammed investors. At first it seemed legit, and I picked his company to analyze for a subject at uni while it was still small. After meeting with the idiot and having a lot of BS thrown my way, I decided to go to my professor with my worries about this, causing him to report it to our financial commission. Therefore, it got revealed his medicine was not real. That's amazing. Good job. Have I heard of a Serbian film? Yeah, I've seen a Serbian film.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Also
capitalism.
dating a lady, which is gay. Yes, absolutely. Antipodian Squid can confirm everyone I know that loves Star Wars is LGBT and therefore it's gay to like Star Wars. True. Arena's 3 with 150 bits. Hannah, currently I've got my 2 cis-het parents telling me how I should be coming out to my grandparents. I'm trans. Can the straights just not?
There's nothing funny
Yeah,
about the
when I
tools
still
of
talk to my mom, that was a thing too. Like I talked about maybe coming out to her parents, and she was like, "Can you just wait until they die and not tell them?" That was pretty rude. Windchanter with 20 bits. Your and Jake's streams have helped me come to grips with my repressed sexuality, that and the furry community. Ooh woo. I'm slowly starting to come to grips with the fact that I'm bi and possibly pan. Right on. Cool. A Serbian film. Serbian film is gross, and it's just an attempt to be like, aha, look how shocking we can make our movie. It's not a good movie. It's not. I wouldn't even recommend it. And I'm someone who, like, I really like the Human Centipede movies, at least the first two, because they're really stupid and schlocky and bad. But I like them. But like a Serbian film, and that's actually how I heard about a Serbian film, because I was like, okay, I liked, the Human Centipede movies. They're silly, they're stupid,
nothing funny about
they're
the tools of
gross.
capitalism.
Is there any other movies that are kind of the same kind of thing? And a Serbian film came up, so I went and watched it, and I was like, oh god, they're just really trying to be edgy here. Pretty bad stuff. MMO Addicted. The fact his aunt worked at our equivalent of the FDA and let him his fake meds slip by. He started shilling stock trading and stuff like this, photos with expensive stuff and selfies with lawyers going all, I will beat this fake slanderer, and turned out it was all financed with a ton of shady loans. Last I heard of him, he ran away to Belarus and is hiding. Yikes. That'd be an interesting end to Tate's story. For sure. Anything from Eli Roth is terrible. Eli Roth didn't make a Serbian film. But yeah, Eli Roth makes some pretty bad stuff.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Don't forget that when you stopped talking to her, she left you a message that she was ready for you to tell her parents now, even though you weren't ready. Yeah. Yeah. Manipulative. She's manipulative. It's a shame. When the Flower Girl 13 with 100 bits, I came out as NB to my trans friend, and now she thinks I'm going to take HRT. I don't know how being NB also makes me trans. Some people who are NB take hormones, a lot don't. It just depends on what people are comfortable with. And NB people are typically considered part of the trans community, even though they're not like binary trans folk. Like, it's still a thing. Although if you don't want to identify as part of the trans community, you don't have to. It's just often it gets grouped in. What's NB? Non-binary. Oh, gotta go back up. Okay. He goes on. The dork army of Star Wars fans got their biggest, strongest nerd to fight me in a bid to defend the honor of Star Wars geeks everywhere. I used the Force on his bum bare-ass head. There isn't a Star Wars fan alive who could resist my awesome physical prowess. This is the kind of life you live if you've never seen Star Wars. Quickly, go back in time. Don't watch dork movies. Visit CobraTate.com and learn the secrets of wealth. Imagine the coolest man you've ever met. That's right, close your eyes. Imagine hard. You see my face, don't you? My beautiful face. Yes, you're... Yes, you're wet now. It's okay. It's okay. I've never seen Star Wars! Look at this loser. MMO addicted with 20 bits. Wait, NBs are? Huh. Oh, well, that part of my identity is still in the trunk label, do not open until I leave Poland and can safely explore myself. Understandable. The car you love, the man you love. You've seen the Lambo and the Aston already in this thread. Notice the Ferrari. That's right. Cry. Cry, little dorks. Star Wars did this to you. Star Wars betrayed you. You could have been me. Learn how. And then it's him in his yard with his cars. I will PayPal you $1 as many times as you want. Just tweet your PayPal address to me with the line, I hate Star Wars. That's hilarious. He goes on, I have all the sex because I've never seen Star Wars. There is no sex left for any other male. You'll die childless. I will impregnate every female alive. Repopulate the earth with my brilliant genetics, never polluted by dork wars. Luke, I will be everyone's father. I'm dying.
There's nothing funny
Yes!
about the tools of capitalism.
Want to bet Tate was made fun of at school for not seeing Star Wars and now takes it out on everyone? I have no idea what his issue is. Tucker White 94, is that offer still going? I'll happily say I hate Star Wars to get some free money
There's
from
nothing
Tate.
funny about the
No.
tools of capitalism.
No, it's not. It was 2 hours, and it was in 2019. Antipodian Squid with 20 bits. Those of us NBs that don't necessarily identify as explicitly trans will often still explain to people that we come under the trans umbrella as a qualifier because we often get shit from both sides. But you're trans, you aren't cis, so you're trans, or but you're non-binary trans, so you're not trans enough. Personally, I'm just over here like, gender is icky, please keep it away from me. That's stupid that you guys get shit from, like, anyone. I don't care. It's, you know, do you. It's great. She said she didn't want to cheat on Cheesy with Mr. Yeezy, but I lean in real close, whisper in her ear sexily, I've never seen Star Wars. Ooh, oh my god. I've never felt like this way. Oh my god. And then it's a picture of a badly photoshopped picture of him with Kim Kardashian. It's just a video of him. Look close, very close. She has Tate tattooed on her hip. But how, think the dorks. They wasted their time, wasting dork wars instead of learning from the master. You are wasting your life. You could be like me. Have you seen Star Wars? No? Good. You don't need my help. Yes? Okay. Answer below. Are you rich? And then there's a poll, but both answers are no. CobraTate.com holds life secrets. How to have beautiful women like in my pictures. How any man can run porn and webcam companies for huge profits. How anyone can get verified on Instagram like me. 10% off any product. 10% off, blah, blah, blah. 50 hours of knowledge and examples in video format. How to change your life. More women, more money. Undo what Star Wars did. Use discount code Star Wars. Oh, no. Wind Chanter. I don't know what non-binary is at this point, and I'm too afraid to ask. You're definitely going to have to get that answer from someone who is non-binary to get a better overview than I could give you. And basically, it's someone who doesn't identify with male or female as their gender, right? But if you want more than that, you'd have to talk to a non-binary person. Towing 24 after Tate. Can we talk about Glenn Greenwald going ultra chud yeeting from his own company because he's a crypto fascist and his own editors wouldn't let him push the Hunter Biden lies? I'm not overly familiar. Maybe though. Mitchell Drummer with 50 bits. Tate is the definition of toxic masculinity. Oh yeah, for sure. The revolution begins. Soon everyone will have it. The movies will stop being made. Dorks will masturbate to something else. The franchise will collapse. And all will hail Tate, the man with the golden voice and velvet face. The most brilliant man alive. Star Trek is totally different. Star Trek is... Oh my god! Star Trek is so much nerdier than Star Wars. And I like both, but... Star Trek is totally different. Star Trek is for G's. Janeway was a lesbian? Not to my knowledge. No, she didn't. There was an episode where they went onto the holodeck and there was like a community and she had like a romance with a dude. She wanted 7 of 9's... Oh... I'm not gonna read that. She wanted 7 of 9's P and A. Lick it deep. Deep. Tasty. Jean-Luc would destroy Skywalker. Set phasers to nerd. What? If Luke Skywalker wanted to kill Jean-Luc Picard, he would. What are you talking about? Oh, yes. Use the Force. Yes. I can... Oh, yes. Use the Force. Yes. Force it in. Oh, yes. Do it, Darthy. I love Star Wars, Darthy. You can Jabba... You can... We're almost done. I promise, guys. We're almost done with this section of the stream. You can Jabba my butt anytime. What the? Oh. I'm writing a long, detailed email with irrefutable science evidence providing once and for all that Star Wars will make you poor forever. I am single-handedly fixing all Star Wars fans. Everyone knows Star Wars fans are low T, worms, micrococks, struggle with women, OMG, a new movie. My products are fixing them one by one. Forget about Dork Wars. Tucker White 94. Okay, can we play that cleanser I sent you? I need it after this trip. Yeah, in a minute we can.
There's nothing funny about the
Job of my butt is so, I don't know. I like Hakuna Matatas more as a movie joke. Or Hakuna Matatas, rather. Okay, we could probably move on. Like, it keeps going, guys. I cannot tell you more how much this keeps going. It just keeps going. Oh god, here he is in front of a bunch of Star Wars stuff. He's such a weirdo. It's enough, Tate. Tate. Good luck, Tate.